What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We've got a new season coming and we're on the PTS, so we're going to check out all of the new modifiers in some detail. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So this is probably going to be a fairly long, ready type video, but we're going to go into the brand new season modifiers and we're going to check them out from start to finish. So the first one is the global modifier. So it gain a rate of fire bonus for each contested named zone on the current map, up to 30% extra rate of fire. Gain a rate of fire and weapon damage bonus for each named zone under complete SHD control, up to 30% rate of fire and 30% weapon damage. I actually tested this out. It's a lot. Like, that 30% rate of fire is crazy when you start stacking it with obviously strikers and things like that. So it does absolute wonder for what Division loves best, and that's builds that have stacking attributes to them. So yeah, could definitely go into just be a buff to Heartbreaker and strikers easily, along with all of the builds as well. Total name zones obviously are 11. Then you can see the contested ones. You can see on them, so it gives you kind of your live stats, what your current bonus is as well. And that's obviously that if we look at my map, you can see here that, you know, this is contested because some are and some aren't, whereas the rest I've not done anything with. So, and I guess retaliation will obviously play a part into that because, you know, you do retaliation, you take over the entire zone. So it does all feed into each other, and it's kind of going to be, you know, hopefully you will like the modifiers. If you don't, it might put you off the entire season. So anyway, we've got let's have a look at the enemy modifiers. So this one, to the affected enemy, applies a 5% outgoing damage boost to themselves and their allies within 10 meters. Each additional ally within 10 meters increases the boost up to a maximum of 30% outgoing damage. Now, I think that's a lot for enemies. I think that's a lot. I'm not so sure that number is not too high. But I guess we'll see. After taking no damage for 5 seconds, the affected enemy gains 10% movement speed and 15% rate of fire. Boosts that increase over time, up to 20% movement speed and 30% rate of fire. Again, I think this is a lot. Like, these could be absolutely horrible in legendary content. And then the affected enemies gain overheal equal to 2 times their base health while they have a gadget deployed. Destroying the gadget removes the overheal. I mean, that's kind of alright and feels, you know, kind of fair. So, but I'm not so sure that these two, they feel like they could be, you know, overpowered, that's for sure. And then we've got our active modifiers. So we've got 5 active modifiers that are very different this time around. So as you can see here, you can see on this one and you can see on this one. This one's level 2. This one's level 1. These ones I've not used yet. But I've leveled this up doing and testing retaliation. So it seems that the max level is 5, from what I've been able to tell. Like you can see here, what I've not touched, it's defaulted at 5. So I'm guessing that's the max, then where they go to. I'm not sure if they go up the same percent every time. That might be pretty wild if they do, but I guess we'll see. So advanced material being the first one. This one's going to be a skill-based one. So it says your skills gain extra skill tiers and your signature weapons gain extra damage boost against regular enemies as per the table below. And that table, you know, is upgraded, like I said before, from you doing your normal leveling up. Additionally, signature weapons gain a rate of fire boost and a reload speed boost as per the table below, and you have unlimited ammunition. Kills with a signature weapon or skills add 3 seconds to the modifier's duration. To level up this modifier, eliminate hostiles while this modifier is equipped, or complete retaliations against the true sons. So as you can see here, with one that's not leveled up at all, you're going to get a boost of 50% that then's going to change to 60%. And I'm wondering if that's going to be a 100% boost. by the time we get to the end and we leveled it up. And a 5% boost every time for the signature weapon RPM. 10% boost every time for the signature weapon reload. We also get an extra skill tier, which could be pretty wild, right? It could really mean that hybrid builds would be massive in this season coming up. Because if you can get tier 5 skill tier from just this modifier, that's, yeah, pretty crazy. And the modifier's duration is 45 seconds. I think that's pretty generous. And only a minute cooldown. So yeah, that actually could be pretty good. And I can see quite a lot of build variety coming with that because it does seem, you know, pretty powerful. And that's obviously based on True Sons, whereas this one, you can see Sanitation kind of gives it away because they love fire, is going to be based on the Cleaners. So let's see what this one does. Set enemies within a radius on fire. While the modifier is active, each unique enemy set on fire adds 1 stack of Sanitation, which grants extra damage to burning enemies up to a maximum of +2 stacks. For each enemy currently burning, repair armor every second. And then for 3 stacks, we got critical hits, inflict burning on enemies, which is, yeah, I feel like this one could be super, super strong because you're going to end up just CCing everything all the time. And if we scroll down, again, it has a 1 minute cooldown. That's actually pretty good. And then you can see here, we get it goes up 0.5 per damage stack. Starts at 5% for damage. The duration's 45 seconds. The cooldown's a minute. There's an explosion radius of 15 meters. The stacks probably go up to 10. And the repair looks like it starts at 10. It goes up 25 each time. No way could it go up 25 each time. That seems like it's pretty wild. But that's definitely one I think to look out for. That could actually be better than what it actually reads. Then we've got Zealot next. On activation, gain 15 stacks of Zealot, each one granting weapon damage and a damage reduction boost, as per the table below. After 10 seconds, you begin losing 1 stack per second, and the stack consumption rate increases every 10 seconds. Eliminating hostiles restores the Zealot stacks. Upon reaching 0, a damaging EMP explosion is triggered at your location, leaving you at 1 health. For each enemy hit by the explosion, recover armor and health as per the table below. To level up the modifier this time, we're going to go against Outcasts. This one seems pretty crazy. Like, it feels like this one you could quite easily kill yourself if you're not too careful. But I guess we'll see. So the DR stack, for the damage reduction, looks like it's going to be around 10% damage reduction. Weapon damage is only going up 0.5 every time, so not a huge boost with this one. But it will definitely, I wonder how good this explosion is from the stacks and how easy we can recover armor from it. So that is pretty interesting as well. But again, definitely one to be played around with a bit more to see how good it's going to be. So far, I'm kind of thinking that Sanitation is probably going to be the best one. So spiced up, all of your armor is stripped for the duration of this modifier. You cannot aim down sights or repair armor, which is pretty crazy. But it's kind of been leading up to this. We've got a lot of gear now that has high health bonuses on, so that's obviously what they're pushing us to use. In return, each successful hit on an enemy adds a stacking weapon damage bonus and recovers some health. You also gain a boost to health, reload speed and movement speed as shown in the table below. And this one's going to be hyenas. So quite a lot of health. Damage isn't going to be huge per stack. Reload speed though is going to be really good. Movement speed up to 20% by the looks of it, which could be pretty good. Duration slightly longer, 50 seconds on this with a minute cooldown. So that could be pretty good, but it'd be interesting to see how easy it is not to just keep dying because of what it does. And then the Say Cheese, which is next. So you can see here, blind hostiles in a cone in front of you, as per the table below. Holding a shield when triggering this modifier increases the range and the radius of the blinding effect. Eliminated blinded enemies reduces the cooldown of the modifier. To level up this modifier, eliminate hostiles while this modifier is equipped, or complete retaliations against the Rikers. And this one kind of interests me probably the most, right? To how quick we can actually reduce that cooldown. Can we reduce that cooldown, you know, so we're constantly using it? Because it's only 35 seconds, you know, as is. So there's no upgrade to this to make that lower. But I do kind of wonder if we're going to be able to get that cooldown down quite a lot. But I guess we will see. So the moment the range is pretty low, it really does. And I think it's too low. So you are going to have to level that up for sure. The radius, again, could do with some leveling up, but isn't terrible. Range with the shield pushes it to 30, but I mean once we start getting to 40 plus, I think that's pretty good. Sorry, that's the range with the shield, and then the radius with the shield, again, not too fussed about that. But we get a second back for every time, so you're not going to get that much stripped off it. Actually, maybe about 5 seconds. Maybe we'll get the cooldown. Depends if you're playing solo, right? I guess that's more. Say Cheese is probably aimed at a solo player way more than anything else. So yeah, that's all of the main active modifiers, and then we've got the passive modifiers, which there's less of this season, which I kind of like, as long as they keep the variety good. We've got some universal ones, and then we've got some faction ones. Now the faction ones will be really good for retaliation, because they're all kind of homed in on who you're fighting against. Let's go through the universal ones though. First of all, eliminating assaults with headshots adds hollow point ammo to your magazine. So that's assault style enemies. Again, that leans into the new talents that we've got for the new exotic gloves and for the Shroud exotic MMR. But I'm not sure it's the best use of a talent, to be perfectly honest. But I guess we'll see. Shooting a rusher from within 10 meters staggers them. When this happens, you get 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. And again, I kind of think like a lot of these are not going to be permanently on, and we're so used to these modifiers being permanently on. Like, how many rushes are there, you know, when you're taking on a level? Well, sometimes there's only 2, you know. So yeah, I'm not so sure that these are the kind of modifiers that are just going to make us feel less powerful this season. When you break any piece of a tank's armor, all other armor pieces are broken. When this happens, you apply bleeding to the enemies within 15 meters. I think Rupert's tier is pretty good. Tanks are always kind of going to be trying to get towards you, so this has some pretty good potential, and it'll make you take down tanks just way easier. Then we've got compromised. While you're in cover, your headshot damage against snipers is increased by 100%. Again, very based on snipers and having to do something, which I'm not a huge fan of. Any grenade within 5 meters of you is destroyed. Cooldown 30 seconds. I kind of like this one, just with the fact that if you play hider content, you know what grenade spam can be like. This might ease that for a season a little bit. And then we've got the faction based ones. So obviously if you're going to go into the retaliation and you're going to be against a certain faction, it might be worth just, you know, sticking this one on. So shooting a hyena's shield deflects your bullets, dealing 50% of that damage to each enemy within 10 meters. That's pretty good. Then we've got quicksand. Breaking and immobilizes weak point, applies foam to all enemies within 20 meters. Again, good CC. Breaking a scorcher's gas canister inflicts burning on all enemies within 7 meters. Pretty good again. They burn until they die. When a leader is eliminated, all enemies within 80 meters that were affected by the leader's overheal suffer bleeding. Upon eliminating the leader, you gain a 20% bonus armor. And then we've got destroying a controller's drone breaks the controller's weak point and shocks the controller and all enemies within 20 meters of them. So yeah, these probably much more useful for retaliation, but however, they're not terribly exciting this time around, unfortunately. But I feel like they might just do a job. The active modifiers definitely seem like they've got much more fun to them. Do I think this season's going to be one of their best ones? I'm not so sure. I really liked this season, the fact that I just had the modifiers on and get a really good damage bonus without even having to use them, and I've got so used to that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we feel when these ones go live. But that's going to be it for the video. It's definitely been long enough. As always, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.